We're afraid to step outside our comfort zones, aren't we? In fact, some of us have invested in top-notch security systems and multiple deadbolt locks to not let any intruders into our nice, comfy zone. Intruders like change or something new, the unknown. For some, these intruders are opportunities like leadership roles, transparent relationships, physical fitness, starting a new career, or giving Jesus 100% control of your life. Whatever the intruder, we have consciously or subconsciously determined the level of danger of each one of these. The unknown is the intruder that typically gets the highest marking on the fear chart, even though it's unknown. As a result, we tend to stay tightly locked up in our comfort zones, even when the comfort zone, as we've arranged it, becomes less and less comfy. I have a fun story about a very memorable comfort zone from when I was in my 20s. I was working in downtown Chicago, and I was renting a room in the apartment of a sweet lady named Anna. It was definitely a comfy arrangement that I was so grateful for, until that fateful night. It was the night she decided to dog sit her daughter's gorilla-sized Rottweiler. I had come home from work that night and was greeted at the door by a growling and salivating canine who looked like he could swallow my right arm whole. Anna calmed the dog down, pulled him close, and told me his name. I can't remember the name now, but I think it was something like Satan. She had me sit next to him and pet him so we could become friends. All the while, Satan was looking at me and saying with his eyes, "Before I leave this house, I swear I will eat you alive." I went to my room early that night and double-checked to make sure the door was locked. I quickly drifted off to sleep and had sweet dreams there in my nice comfort zone. But then at about 3:30 a.m., I woke up with the tremendous urge to go potty. So half awake, I got out of bed, started to open my comfort zone door to go down the hall to the bathroom when all of a sudden I heard the ferocious growl of Satan just a few feet away. I slammed my door shut and could hear his growls and toenails scratching on the door for the next minute until I heard him plop down on the floor right outside my door. The urge to go potty now was twice as great, and I looked around my room for a solution. There was nothing, definitely no bedpans, no cups, and no makeshift containers of any kind. Jumping out the window was not a good option, so I thought, okay, I'll just try to relax and go back to sleep, and hopefully Anna will wake up early and keep the evil dog away from me. I think I laid there the next 2.5 hours sweating while trying not to wet the bed. Around 6 a.m., just before my bladder was literally about to blow up, I heard Anna outside my door and I called out to her to ask her to keep Satan away from me, please, so I could go to the bathroom. She said, sure, and I cautiously opened the door. The dog was eating and smiling and didn't even seem to notice me as I headed down the hall, and I was literally relieved. So why do I tell you this story? Because I think it perfectly represents the uncomfortable comfort zones we've constructed in our lives, of which many of us are scared to death to even peek out the door. Some people spend great amounts of time, money, emotional and physical energy and health to devise alternative escape routes of some sort for fear of the unknown sitting outside their comfort zone door. Some people have missed out on life-changing opportunities, deep friendships, and deeper intimacy with God out of fear of leaving their comfort zone. Some have even laid there in pain till their life blows up and they're forced to step outside the door and change. But I think probably the majority of people have had a bedpan and a few essentials delivered to their comfort zone. On occasion, they'll admit their comfort zone isn't all that comfy. But they've convinced themselves that it's way too scary, way too big of a risk to open the door and take a baby step outside to face the fear of the unknown, the fear of the gorilla-sized Rottweiler they're sure is there. If you can relate to any of this, here are a few questions for consideration. What if the dog's not even there? What if the dog is there and he's actually friendly? What if you're right? The dog isn't friendly and he bites your arm off, but before sewing your arm back on, the surgeon finds and removes cancer cells you didn't even know you had and credits the dog for saving your life. What could you be missing out on by refusing to open the door and step outside your comfort zone? I invite you to read this post on my website where I encourage you a bit more to consider taking even a baby step outside your comfort zone. And I'll end with these 4 truths. Number 1, comfort zones are never as comfy as we convince ourselves they are. Number 2, comfort zones can cause us to miss out on way more than we gain by staying in them. Number 3, intimacy with God is best found when you're not in your comfort zone. And number 4, intimacy with God is what we were made for. What's one thing you can do this week to take one step outside your comfort zone? You can do it.